This book tells the story of David Clarke and his conversion from crime to Christ on the 16th of January 1970. He tells of his former criminal life involving drugs, crime, and his time in Canterbury Prison, Wormwood Scrubs, and Dover Borstal. He tells of his bad experience on LSD and how he turned his life around from crime to a positive good after he called out to the Lord for help. He tells how he learned to read in order to educate himself and why he confessed to the police to some 24 crimes which he had committed since leaving Dover Borstal in 1968, for which he appeared in Aylesbury Magistrates Court on the 9th of February 1971 and was not sentenced. He continued his education, which was in the technical field and higher education, after which he became a lecturer and taught electronics for over 20 years in colleges of higher and further education. David describes how he learned gospel truths very early on and how he was convinced that the doctrines of grace were those truths taught in the Bible. He writes about his life as a member of the Bierton Strict and Particular Baptist Church, which was a gospel standard cause, and of his role as the secretary of the church. He then tells how he was called by the Lord and sent by the church to preach the gospel. He also tells of the opposition that he experienced from professing Christians outside the church who opposed the gospel standard position in respect to the so-called added articles of religion and of their distinctive views of the believer's relationship to the law of Moses. He talks about the doctrinal errors that he encountered whilst in the church, maintaining that the doctrines of grace were those truths taught in the Bible. He also discusses some serious errors that crept into the church, pointing to a denial of particular redemption. These errors he describes in detail in his book, The Bierton Crisis. David also relates his brother's conversion from crime to Christ that took place some 25 years after his own. This came about through him reading C.S. Lewis's book, Mere Christianity, and that took place after him serving 5 years of a 16-year prison sentence which was being served in New Bilibid Prison in the Philippines. He also goes on to describe his mission of help to bring assistance to his brother Michael, and then the work they did together in New Bilibid Prison in bringing help to many other former criminals who too had turned their lives around from crime. This story is told in more detail in their joint book, Trojan Warriors. Sadly, Michael died of tuberculosis in 2005 in the prison before their vision of bringing help to many was realised. Please hit the red subscribe button if you like this video and click the link below to register your email address to receive news updates of our work. All the books mentioned can be purchased from Amazon.com, Amazon.co.uk and Amazon Europe, or Create Space Direct.